Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Power Season 6, Episode 7. Before we get into it, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, hit the blue bell for notifications, thumbs me up, comment, and share. So, here we go.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part.
Nothing like being knee-deep in your sleep and waking up to the barrel of a gun.
Wake up. I said wake the fuck up. Sleepy time's over, little motherfucker. Let's go.
You got a fucking gun on me?
Back door to the penthouse. You left it open for Tommy. Why?
I thought it locked behind me.
Keep lying, Tariq.
So Tariq's gonna look at his father and say, "Oh, you ain't serious. Stop the act." Ghost told him his whole alibi. He said, "I don't know what happened, officer. Quite frankly, my son hasn't been the same since his sister died, and I guess he just didn't feel like he had a reason to live." He's got his whole alibi ready.
I failed him as a father.
Not gonna kill me. I'm your son.
You know why Kanan killed his son, huh? You know why Kanan put a fucking bullet in Sean's head? Because Sean was disloyal. If you were anybody else, Tariq, you'd already be dead. Yeah, little nigga. The moment you let Tommy in the penthouse to kill me was the moment you were no longer my son, and now you're my enemy.
So is it just me, or does Omari sound just like Denzel Washington right there in Training Day? Like, he really does, and I know that he was his protege, so that makes sense. But anyway, I see what this was. So what sparked all of this is because Ghost thought that Tariq set him up, not knowing that, Tommy was not coming there for him. Tommy knew exactly who he was going there for. So I don't know if that really would change much, but we're going to see. So Ghost is wondering, like, why'd you get Alicia Marie out of here, everything that happened? And Tariq was like, well, I owed Tommy, because I stole his drugs. And Ghost is like, Tommy knew that you were selling drugs. Tariq's like, yeah, but he didn't know that Tariq had stole the drugs. So Ghost tells him, all right, it's over. So he throws the gun on the bed and he's like, get dressed, we got somewhere to go. And you keep on thinking that you're smarter than me, but let this be your last time that you make that mistake. So Tariq picks up the gun to see just how serious his father was. He wanted to see if it was loaded or not. And as we can see, that's what he was looking at. So Ghost brings Tariq back to the apartment. It's, this is their first time. This is Tariq's first time back. And Tariq was like, man, Uncle Tommy did all that? And Ghost looked at him and told him he sure did with your help. So the reason they're in the apartment is because Ghost wants to see where Tariq's stash is. So he walks to Tariq's bedroom and Tariq walks past the bedroom. And Ghost is like, wait a minute, so you hid your drug stuff inside of your sister's room? He's like, yeah, because I knew you would never go inside of there. And, he was like, plus, whatever, Raina knew where to hide stuff at. He's like, your sister didn't have anything to hide. And Tariq told his father, yeah, you just didn't know where to look.
That's it? Where's the rest?
That's all I got. I can't believe you robbing me right now, yo.
Dope boys get robbed all the time, nigga.
I work hard for that money, Ghost.
And I worked hard for all of this shit you took from me. Don't you ever fucking call me Ghost again, you hear me?
As Ghost is leaving, he tells Tariq, you know what, you owe me one more thing. Tariq is like, you took my drugs, my money, I don't have anything to give you. What else do you want from me?
Give me your word. You'll never talk to Tommy again, ever. He owned you. Now I fucking own you. If I catch you fucking with Tommy again, I'm gonna let Tommy know that you stole from him. And then you gotta deal with fucking Tommy and me.
And we already know nobody wants Tommy as a problem. So now, Ghost did what he did, and I understand why he did it, because he has to let his son know. He's been way too soft on Tariq. They've been babying Tariq, and, he's just been running around here having his little, quote-unquote, temper tantrums, but his are coming out with drugs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, his temper tantrum's going to get somebody killed, probably himself, because he's just stupid with how he moves. But, I think at this point, the way Ghost handled it didn't make Tariq respect him. It definitely made him scare him. He scared him a little bit, but not really, because then when Tariq saw that there were no bullets in there, he was just kind of like, oh, yeah, my father's just doing this for show. So now Tariq is mad. There's not respect there. It's just anger. Meanwhile, the angel of death is sitting across town looking crazy as can be, deep in thought. Keisha walks in and she's like, what's on your mind? Because what's on my mind is the fact that we have no product, no money, and Ghost is on our tail. And, pretty much Tommy was like, well, what was I supposed to do? When Tariq texted him 911, he couldn't just turn his back on Tariq. And she's like, you should just let him handle his own mess. That's not your child, blah, blah, blah. And Tommy's like, well, pretty much, if he wouldn't have had Tariq, he wouldn't have made made it to Proctor. So he loves Tariq, and plus he owes him that. So it's just a big mess. And, Keisha's like, the only reason why you feeling this way is because Ghost doesn't know the part that, that Tariq played in your killing Joe. So when it all boils down, we're about to have an even bigger problem. So Tommy gives her this huge gun, which, I mean, if she's never shot a gun before, they live in New York State. They can't have guns up there. Like, the laws are different in New York for other places. So I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. But this gun is huge. He gives it to her. And then, he tells her he's going to teach her how to shoot it because she needs to protect herself, because who knows what corners Ghost is going to be hiding behind. And Lakeisha's looking at it like she doesn't even need the gun if Tommy would just cut Tariq off. But he's like, Tariq is family. So she says, oh, well, what about me and Cash? She's like, yeah, you and Cash are family, but Tariq's my family too. Do y'all see Ghost's face right here? This is how you know him and Tasha. He just can't. Tasha gets on his nerves. But Tasha's like, how could you pull a gun on our son? And he's like, listen, I got all the information. I found out what the drugs were. I got the money. So, I mean, it worked. And it is what it is. And, she was like, he's like, oh, now he respects me. Tasha's like, he doesn't respect you. He hates you. And Ghost is like, listen, he can hate me all he wants to. I just want my son to get through high school and not following the path that I went down, So if he hates me now, whatever, he'll learn to love me and respect me when he gets older. And Tasha's like, yeah, that's what you think, but I think you're doing it wrong. And he pretty much told her, not you or anyone else in this world is going to tell me how to raise my son, because he's trying to do right, but it's just the way it's happening. It's going to be counterproductive. And he even told her, like, Tasha, he's too far gone for us to keep trying to baby him. So meanwhile, Tariq's outside listening to this whole conversation, and he's like, all right, his parents are in there arguing, so he needs to dip before they come out the room. So Ghost is like, Tasha, this is it for the drugs in his family. We're not selling any more drugs. We're out of the drug game. Tariq's going to go to college. He's going to have a great life. And Tasha's like, yeah, whatever. They come out. They see that Tariq is long gone. Well, Tommy told Keisha to go to the warehouse and do inventory, but when she gets there, she sees that 2-Bit, Spank, and BG are already down there. And, what's the name? 2-Bit is like, wait a minute, did y'all open this up? This box is open. That's the box. We know that's the box that Tariq went in. And they're like, no, we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, Keisha walks in. She starts accusing 2-Bit because he got defensive, like, wait a minute. She like, who discovered it? 2-Bit said, I discovered the box was open. So Keisha tells him, well, I'm going to just go call Tommy because he might need to know about this. The person who discovered it is probably the person who did it. So long story short, they get to argue, and 2-Bit grabs her arm like, wait a minute, don't go tell Tommy nothing, because Tommy is crazy and he gonna come in here acting a fool. So Lakeisha's like, he needs to act a fool because, pretty much y'all ain't loyal. So, 2-Bit told her, if I was gonna steal something, I would have snatched that chain off your neck. I wouldn't go steal product. So Lakeisha storms out, and now she's mad because 2-Bit grabbed her arm. Spank and BG are like, why'd you grab this girl? Because now Tommy's gonna come in here guns a-blazing. So yeah, Lakeisha's accusing his crew, and it's just bad blood between all of them. The main thing is, 2-Bit was trying to tell Lakeisha somebody was in here. She's like, well, y'all are the only ones who know about this place, so it was one of y'all. And 2-Bit's like, no, somebody was in here, so we know who was in there. So Ramona comes into the office. She goes up to Derek. She's like, yo, where is Tate? Where's Thugged Out Tate at? And because we need to go over the CPS press review. Now, that's with Dre. And Derek tells her, well, he's not here. So she's like, well, Cassandra needs to give me the Monroe County data. And Derek said, oh, she's not here either. So Ramona's like, where's everybody at? So now, because she planted that seed in Derek's head, Derek is thinking, wait a minute, where is everybody? Well, I'm guessing no one saw this coming. So Cassandra's got all these coffee dates on her calendar, and now Derek realizes that she likes black coffee, no cream, no sugar. So he's like, well, she said we were going to tell you after Tate won. He's like, oh, Tate doesn't have to worry about that because that's game over.
Now's not the time to make any important decisions. Oh, you're understandably in a state. I appreciate your concern, Rashad. I do, thank you. When would be a good time, huh? Before or after I take your opposition research across the
So
street?
Cassandra jumps up and she's like, oh, let's not make this about work. I haven't been happy in this marriage for a long time. And Derek looks at her. He was like, oh, we'll make it about work if the voters decide that we should. So he's about to go public with this. He storms out the room. F you and F you. F both of them. So at this moment, Tate knows he has messed up. So now Lakeisha's at the loft. She's looking for Tommy. He's not there. All of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. And the first thing this fool does is grabs the gun. Like, she's so scary. And, it's all because of Ghost and all this stuff that's going on. She's out of her element. So she answers the door. It's Tariq. She's like, what do you want? You need to get up out of here. He's like, nah, I need to speak to Uncle Tommy. My dad pulled a gun on me this morning, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, it's good for you. He should have been pulled a gun. But I'm not going to tell you where Tommy is. And I'm not going to tell Tommy you came. So Tariq's like, nah, it's really important. I got to talk to Uncle Tommy. Is he in Brooklyn? And Lakeisha's like, wait a minute, how does Tariq even know about Brooklyn? How do you know about Brooklyn? And he's like, oh, Uncle Tommy mentioned it before. Lakeisha knows better than that. For once, her brain was working right. Tommy never mentioned Brooklyn, so she knows all the mess that they just went through over Tariq and these pills with Vincent. So she's like, wait a minute, did you steal Tommy's pills? And of course, Tariq denies it. But Lakeisha, like I said, her brain is doing the right thing today. So she already knows that, that he's full of crap. So he leaves. She closes the door on him. Don't come back. He leaves. And lo and behold, he goes downstairs. His mother's waiting for him because she knew exactly where Tariq went. And the reason she knows is because Tasha knows her child. Ghost told him, do not have any more interactions with Tommy. And what's the first thing Tariq does? He runs over to Tommy's house. So now Tariq is like, oh, damn, she found me. She tells him, get in the car. We're going to see your father. And you're going to tell him where I found you at. So now Warner, Saxe, and Blanca are all inside the office, and they're talking about this whole situation and how things are going down. Blanca's like, yeah, I talked to Tariq. I don't really think that he's telling the truth. Some things just aren't adding up. Where's Alicia Marie? Because we see the suitcases. Her and her father were living at St. Patrick's house, or, they were extended guests. So what's going on? We have to get to the bottom of this. And Saxe is like, oh, well, Alicia Marie is with Benny. All of a sudden, Warner's like, how do you know this? And if you know that, why are you here? So Saxe leaves. Warner pulls Blanca to the side. He's like, hey, it seems like everybody that's connected to St. Patrick and Saxe comes up dead. All of our leads are just popping up dead. Lindsay was here in the office with Saxe the day that she died. So I need you to, kind of keep your eyes open and investigate Saxe a bit. So Blanca's like, listen, I'm not here to investigate what's going on in, the misconduct in your division. In your district. I'm here to figure out what happened to Angela Valdez. And he's like, Warner tells Blanca, listen, I don't care why you think you're here. So let me be more clear. You will investigate Saxe. You will find out what's going on. So now Blanca's like another distraction. She's trying to get, her job done. But now, Warner just doesn't trust Saxe, and for good reason. So it appears when everything went down, Dre didn't just run off because now Tate kept his word. He got Dre the baby back, his baby Heaven. And they're doing a little press conference and taking pictures, of course, because Tate is going to use this for his race. And, Dre's telling him, he pulls him to the side like, listen, you can't be posting these pictures because I kind of got heat. So wait until after the election. And while all of this is going on, Ramona's sitting up there like side-eyeing Tate. And Tate's like, oh, crap. He already knows because what just went down with Cassandra and them in the hotel room. So after all of the pictures are taken, Ramona walks up to Tate. She's like, I need to speak to you in your office now. So she pretty much is like grabbing him by the arm and throwing him in the office. She takes him in the office and she tears into him about his behavior and all of that. Cassandra is so mad. She's like, you could have slept with anyone. Why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize everything that we have going? So she's pissed. She storms out the office. All of a sudden, James walks in. Ghost is like, he's got he's smirking because he already spoke to Ramona. He knew what Tate did. He's like, I just got a question for you, bruh. Was it worth it? So Tate was like, listen, you need to wipe that little smirk off your face. This is not funny. This is serious because you got to think. Derek worked for me. Derek did deep investigations on all of my contributors. You were one of my contributors. So if it hits the fan for me, you're going down with me. All your business is going to be out there because Derek, we know Derek he's fueled off of emotion. He's not going to hold any punches. So now Tate was like, do you have any suggestions now that you're done laughing and you realize the severity of this situation? You have any suggestions on how we can quiet Derek up? So Ghost is like, well, I might have a way or two. Do you know anybody on Callister Prep? Now, remember, Callister Prep is where he's thinking about trying to get Tariq into because he got kicked out of Chode. So, Tate was like, hey, I do, actually, so this might work. Now, if you remember, right before Ramona drugged Tate into the office, Dre told Tate, hey, you got to keep them pictures out of the press. Pretty much, Ghost walks Dre out with his baby, and, he tells him, you need to lay low, because if Tommy knows that you're doing what you're doing and you're around, it's going to be a problem for you. So we're going to see how this all plays out, but it seems like everybody's concerned about them pictures. So right now was not the time for Dre to be trying to do no press, but, he had to, because that was kind of the payoff for Tate getting his baby back, but the blowback from that's going to be crazy. So Tommy came for the re-up. He's loading up his trucks, and as they're about to leave, Jason calls him in the office to meet some new dude named Rodolfo. Tommy's like, who are you? So apparently Jason's trying to expand to the West Coast, and this is the dude out there that he can, that's the connect. So he introduces him to Tommy. Tommy's like, yeah, Los Reyes, I know all about y'all. So Rodolfo's like, oh yeah, I heard you moved 40 crates. Who you working with? Tommy's like, oh, I'm a solo act. Jason side-eyeing him, because Jason knows Tommy has his line. He moved all that work working with Ghost. So yeah, Rodolfo's like, I'm solo too. So they kind of give each other a little handshake, and Jason's like, yeah, I want you to meet him because you might have to go out there and this is who you're gonna be dealing with. After the meeting with Jason, Tommy goes home. Keisha tells him what happened between her and Two-Bit. Tommy's ready to go kill him, and she's like, yeah, and it all went down because I accused him of stealing. So Tommy like, he stole from me? Keisha's like, wait a minute, I don't think so. Then she told him how Tariq came over, and Tariq asked about Brooklyn. And of course, Tommy doesn't want to hear that Tariq could have been behind all of this. So him and her get to arguing. But she did plant a seed in his head. And Tommy's like, listen, I'm going to go to Tariq. I'm going to ask him. He's going to tell the truth. Keisha's like, no, he's not. He's going to lie to you. Tommy's like, listen, I got a way of extracting the truth out of my MFers. So we'll see. So Tariq has no other choice. He calls Dre. He's like, I need some work. My dad shut me down. He took my money, took my drugs, he took everything. Dre is like, you need to leave it that way. I'm trying to get in right now. I'm trying to secure my own bag. Just let me get in. Just play cool. I'm not about to crush your father by hooking you up. So Tariq is like, nah, man, I need you on my side. And Dre is like, look, you get caught too much. And Tariq was like, oh, like you? And then he let him know, hey, I just trusted the wrong people. You just do stupid stuff. So pretty much Tariq, Dre was like, just let me get in, and then, I'll bring you in. You got my word. They shake hands, and then Tariq is like, yeah, the problem is your word don't mean nothing. So, of course, Tariq knows that Dre does not want Tommy to know that he's around. So now Dre's impressed because Tariq is still sneaky. And so Dre goes inside the baby's bag and pulls out a bundle and hands it to Tariq. And Tariq was like, dang, you got drugs in the baby bag? Dre is just a piece of trash. So he's like, listen, go ahead and flip this and then give me a week and then we'll go from there. Dre already knew why Tariq was there. That's why he brought the drugs, but he was just testing them to see how it went. And then, of course, when Tariq tried to blackmail him, Dre was ready. So now that Warner's got Blanca on Saxe's case, she goes to the school and sees Alicia Marie. She comes into the office. Of course, the baby's scared. I just love this little girl. I love everything about her acting. I just love her character. She's dope. But anyway, so Blanca's like, hey, sweetie, I have your book bag. And, I was just wondering, how did you get to your Uncle Benny's house? And she's like, oh, Tariq took me. We went for hot chocolate. So she's like, yeah, y'all went through the back door, right? And Alicia Marie, of course, she's going to be honest. She's like, yeah. And then, so Blanca's like, did you see anything abnormal? And Alicia Marie looks down and she realizes that unicorn her mommy gave her is gone off that book bag. So she kind of goes into a little bit of a panic and she explains to Blanca, like, my mom put it on there and I have to keep it on there. So I always remember her whenever I go to my dad's house and stuff like that. Blanca's like, okay, I don't honestly remember Blanca knowing anything about the unicorn, so I'm surprised at her response. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the episodes because I think I missed something, but that clued Blanca on to something, and we're gonna see what it is later. But yeah, so now we already know now that this is gone. Saxe is gonna be in so much trouble because it all leads back to him. And why is he covering up so much and being so underhanded? It makes him look like he played a part in this thing. So true Ghost fashion, he's sitting in the car loading up the clip. All of a sudden, Derek walks out with all of his stuff because, of course, he quit. He's done. Ghost gets out the car and rolls up on him. Derek's like, yeah, I know you, James St. Patrick. Don't be trying to come over here on Tate's behalf because it can't help. So Ghost tells him, I'm the least qualified marriage counselor, but I do really good at resolving conflict. Yeah, we know how you resolve conflict with a bullet to the brain. So This time, Ghost decided to take a different route. And he was like, look, instead of killing Tariq, which I'm glad he didn't, he's like, I think I could offer you a job because I really feel like Tate has a platform that can help a lot of people. So we kind of need to keep Tate where he is, but this may benefit you as well. And of course, Tariq is all fueled by emotion. He's mad. He's like, I'm a F Tate just like he F'd my wife. But I think Ghost has a proposal that's going to make him look at things differently. So Blanca goes straight to the office. She's rummaging through through his desk, and this fool left the unicorn at his office in the desk. Like, how stupid is he? And it wasn't even a locked drawer. It was on the top drawer, and she just found it. So now, of course, she takes a little flash drive, and she dips out of the office really quick, and she bumps into Saxe on the way out. But she's already got the proof. She just doesn't know what she has in her hands yet. So now James, Tasha, Tariq, they all have a meeting at Callister. This is all just formalities. Of course, we know that Tate has called over and put in a word to get Tariq into the school as a favor for James. And in return, James has handled that Derek situation, however he chooses to handle it. So, of course, Tariq gets in. And so now he's going to be in a new school, and he'll be in the city. So now they go back to Tasha's place, and Tasha's like, Ghost is like, I gotta go. I got a meeting to get to. Tasha's like, hey, your son got something to tell you. We remember about that Tommy situation. So Tariq puts on his little fake, want to be protected son role. He knows who his father is, so he's going to have his father do all his dirty work. So he's like, yeah, I went by Uncle Tommy's house, and Keisha was there, and she knows I stole the drugs. Can you go talk to her? Because I think she's going to tell Uncle Tommy. Ghost got up, he's like, yeah, yep, got you, and walked out. Now, Ramona's trying to be Miss Cleanup, so she's meeting with Cassandra about this whole situation with this debacle with Tate. And she's like, what do you want to do with this? I mean, are you trying to go public? What are you trying to do? You're trying to get paid? And Cassandra's like, no, I do not want to go public. So Ramona's like, okay, well, what size carrot ring do you want? Because we could always spin this into like a little Cinderella type story, and y'all get married. Cassandra's like, oh, no, I don't want to marry him. I don't trust him. I don't fool with him. The situation is good, but other than that, that's all I really want from him. That, and of course, so now Ramona sees right through her bull crap. She's like, what do you want? Which one? Cassandra's like, what? Playing innocent. She's like, which congressional seat do you want? She's like, I want 9th, which is Flatbush. So Ramona tells her that, that'll be easy for you to obtain with your looks and, your background. So Cassandra's like, well, you didn't say anything about smarts. Ramona said, I sure didn't. Slam the pen down. Go ahead and sign the NDA, and we'll be in touch. Bye. So Lakeisha's in the parking garage, and Ghost pops out of nowhere. And something I noticed, he likes to give women the option. He'll write him a check, hey, run off. He tried it with several women. He gives them the option to go. And if you choose this life, then, I don't know, you seal your own deal. So he told her, it's going to come a point in your life where you're going to have to choose between the men of your life because you were not built for this drug game. And, of course, we know the men are Cash and Tommy. And Lakeisha knows it too deep down. It's going to clash. Her worlds are going to collide. So he was like, just take the money, run off, go take Cash and raise him somewhere beautiful. You ever been to Atlanta? When he said Atlanta, I was like, oh, hell no. Not a single woman in Atlanta. Lakeisha. Find somewhere else to go. But, yes, take the money and go. So we're going to see what she chooses. But, Ghost is offering her a way out. So Dre's supposed to have one of his, routine snitch meetings with Saxe, and then he shows up late. Saxe is like, what's going on? Dre comes in there, all high and mighty. Oh, you lucky I even showed up, because now he feels like he has his daughter Heaven, so now he doesn't have to be Saxe's bitch boy anymore. And Saxe is like, yeah, I've got this thing for you. He tosses him an ankle monitor. Dre tosses it back like, I'm not wearing that. Saxe is like, okay, you don't have to wear it, but by the time you get home, you're gonna have SWAT at your house, and you'll be arrested for Maria Suarez's murder. And he's like, no, I didn't do that. And then, Saxe is like, yeah, you may not have, but if you can't bring me James St. Patrick, you going down for it. So now Dre's being blackmailed once again. So, he hands Saxe Saxe walks over with the ankle monitor. He puts it on Dre. So now we know this is going to derail everything Dre has going, and it's going to compromise everything because now he's being tracked, and there's really nothing Dre can do about it. So now Ghost is meeting with Jason, and he's like, hey, I got a new distro that's ready to replace Tommy. His name is Andre Coleman. And, Jason's like, I'll determine if he's ready or not, but you bring him to me. And if I approve of this, then you have the okay to kill Tommy. So now Ghost is on his high, not knowing that Andre just wound up getting an ankle bracelet from Saxe. So the guys go back to the warehouse, and Tommy's sitting there waiting with his gun. He's pissed about the whole Keisha situation. And, Too Bit, he was like, your girl came in here, she was tripping. So Tommy's like, you need to leave, Spank. Spank and BG, get out. Spank is like, wait a minute, because he already knows Tommy's gonna kill him. He's like, nah. So Spank really talked Tommy out of it. He's like, you acting off of emotion. Like, we don't have no re-up. Like, come on, you can't kill him over what your girl said. Ever since she came, you've been acting crazy. And the fact of the matter is, Spank told him, your girl started this mess. She started it. So Tommy's like, yeah, he didn't have a right to put his hands on her. And Spank like, yeah, you right, but come on, we in this about the money. Let's do this. So Tommy thought about it. He's like, you know what, you right. And off of that's why I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna let you go. So he tells 2-Bit, get out of here. 2-Bit was like, now you're not gonna let me do nothing. 2-Bit he's still bucking, but Tommy was like, go, you done, and have good luck finding another distro. So 2-Bit leaves. And then Spank was like, wait a minute, am I fired too, big bro? And Tommy kicked Spank out as well. So now Tommy, he done lost 2 of his men, and the only person he really got with him is BG at this point. So Ramona's meeting in the office with Tate, and she's like, yeah, I got Cassandra to sign the NDA. And then Tate's like, hey, I've been thinking, we're both single, and you're right. Like, the optics of me in a relationship would really do wonders for this campaign. So what if me and you joined forces? Pretty much he's trying to proposition Ramona, and he's like, we would kill 2 birds with one really large stone, referring to his situation. And homegirl looked at him and was like,
Negro, please. I wouldn't go to bed with you under any circumstances.
They had nerve to tell her, no, that's just a lie. He said, you haven't had it, so you don't know. So Tate goes on to explain to her, like, hey, it's just about optics. Like, just because it's arranged doesn't mean that we can't have fun if me and you do join forces.
Well, your idea presumes that I don't already have feelings for somebody else.
So in walk Ghost and Derek, and of course Ghost has spun this in his favor. So he says, I want to introduce you guys to the new project manager of the Queen's Child Project. Tate's like, here we go again. Ramona's confused. Everyone's looking confused. He was like, and of course he would get a sizable increase in his income, a no contest divorce from that wife of his, and also all legal fees will be paid, right? So Tate doesn't want any part of this. Tate is not feeling this. Ramona jumps in, and of course, because it's James who pitched it, I think that's why Ramona's on board. She's like, okay, sounds good to me. We'll get an NDA for you to sign. And then, of course, James doing the last part, he's going to sit on any information that he has of you. Now, we know what that means. He's going to sit on any information he has of us. So now 2-Bit and Spank are trying to sit up here and mastermind their way back into Tommy's organization. But if you remember, when Tommy allowed them in, when Tommy get them in, it was by either they had to join him or they had to die. So it was by force. Now that they out, they're trying to get back in because Tommy's the only distro and they need money. So 2-Bit was like, Spank was like, why don't we just kill Ghost and then Tommy will let us back into the organization? 2-Bit is down for that. So while they sitting in the car trying to come up with a plan on how to kill Ghost, they see a picture of Tate, Heaven, Dre, and Ghost. And they're like, wait a minute, Dre's back on the streets. Why don't we just kill Dre? Tommy appreciate that more. So then Spank is like, nah, we got to do him like we did Alicia Jimenez. Bring Dre to Tommy and let Tommy kill us. So they like, yeah, we could do that. But the problem is Lakeisha's going to be in the way. So 2-Bit was like, well, we got to find someone to shake Lakeisha up. If we could find someone to get her out the way, make her run off, then this plan will work. So now they're going to go to Spank's cousin, and he's supposed to go just scare Lakeisha but not hurt her. So now Tommy meets with Tariq, and, he's like, hey, you're going to have to be honest. Just tell me what happened. Tell me the truth. Did you steal from me? And Tariq's like, oh, how would I even know where your warehouse was? How would I know this? How would I know that? See, Tommy been thinking about this. Tommy was like, the night your father shot up my Mustang, you sent me an Uber, so you know exactly where my warehouse is. Just tell the truth.
Tell me the goddamn truth, kid. Just admit it.
So Tariq was like, all right, you know what? I did. I stole it. And, Vincent was on me. I ran out of product. I didn't know what to do. So Tommy's like, all right, finally, he's being honest. And then all of a sudden, that's when Tommy snapped. See, Tommy went in on Tariq. He was like, I put my life on the line, on the line for you. I risked it all. You lied, you stole, you cheated. He was like, and he put the fear of God in Tariq, because at that moment you saw Tariq's soul shaking. Every other time, when he got beat with the oranges, it hurt. When his dad put the gun to his head, it shook him up a little bit. Then he saw there was no bullets in it. Right here, Tariq saw God. If he didn't, you know what? He saw the devil. He saw somebody, because Tommy was like, Tommy was what it took. See, his father couldn't do it because Ghost is too much. He's too attached. He loves him. Tariq knows, oh, my father ain't going to kill me. His mother can't do it because, oh, my mother loves me. She's not going to kill me. Vincent couldn't do it because Vincent, he didn't have an emotional tie to Vincent, so it didn't get him. But see, Tariq loved Tommy. Tommy is family, but Tommy's just crazy enough to kill him, like get rid of him. So that was who needed to do it, and I think he did it. He got through to him, and I don't know how long it's gonna last, but at the end of the day, Tommy was like, there's nothing you could do to make it right. You're a snake. You crossed me. I'm done with you. And pretty much that's the same thing that Ghost has said to him when he thought that he let Tommy in to kill him into the penthouse that night. Now, we all know how Tommy has those mommy and daddy issues, and now, Tariq, that was his boy, He doesn't have children, and Tariq really messed up. And it's crazy because now you see Tariq cared more about Tommy than he did his own dad. He showed more emotion there than anything that has happened with Ghost. So Lakeisha's at the shop closing up, and all of a sudden this dude walks in, and she's like, no, we're closed. And he's like, yeah, I bet we are. He sticks the umbrella in the door. Now, this is the dude, Mozzie, that, 2-Bit and Spank sent over there. Unfortunately, they didn't expect her to break out the hammer and get the busing, because now they dude who was not really supposed to do much to her, he did wind up cutting her in her arm, but he's dead. Now, on to part 2 of their plan. They got Dre. They done bopped Dre over the head and threw him in the back, threw him in the trunk. And now they're supposed to be driving him to Tommy because, they're going to serve him up as a sacrificial lamb as a means to get back into the crew. So now they got Dre in the trunk. He opens his eyes and he sees the hammer to his face. So, Spank sees that he's got the tracker on him. And he's like, nah, I'm playing both sides. I'm supposed to be serving Ghost up, because he knows that'll stop Tommy. So Tommy's like, man, whatever. Then all of a sudden, they trying to figure out if they should kill him or not. And BG's over here spitting some Art of War stuff, talking about ain't the enemy of our enemy our friend. So, they're like, whatever. We got his phone. Tommy like pat him, check him for a wire. They're like, now we got his phone. So they give the phone to Tommy, and lo and behold, on the phone he sees that Ghost texts him about a meeting with Jason. So Tommy's like, wait a minute, a meeting with Jason? What the hell's going on? And Tommy's just like, do what you want to do with Dre. Put him and that ankle bracelet in the garbage, like, in the ground. So before he could even process what's going on his phone, the message that he sees, he gets a frantic phone call from Lakeisha. She's like, oh, Tommy, you got to hurry up and get over here to the shop. So he runs to the shop, and when he walks through the door, all of a sudden he sees a dead body on the ground. And Lakeisha talking about, we got to kill Ghost. So Tommy's like, wait a minute, what's going on? So now Lakeisha done gone extra she-devil on Tommy. Like, why haven't you killed Ghost? And, he's like, how you know Ghost did this? She was like, well, it's a day after he offered me money to leave the town. Now all of a sudden someone's coming in here, and they kept, he had his name all in his mouth. And Tommy's like, oh, wait a minute. What do you mean he offered you money? Why wouldn't you tell me that? Lakeisha was like, that's besides the point. I'm not trying to live this life forever. I want me and Cash to have better. I can't do this anymore. You need to get rid of Ghost. So Tommy's like, listen, all right, I'm gonna handle it. So he starts like trying to move the body. Like, he's like, what are you doing? It was self-defense. Tommy's like, self-defense? I mean, look at the gun. Come on, you can't call the cops. And, Lakeisha, she's just not built for this. So she was like, Tommy said, what you can't do is pick and choose when you want to be in the game and when you don't. So Lakeisha's like, I'm done. I want out. Tommy's like, all right, you know what? Okay, I hear you. I got you. Can you just get his legs? So Lakeisha's got to help Tommy get rid of the body. So now Ghost is at the distro meeting with Jason, waiting for Dre to pull up. And all of a sudden, Tommy bursts through the door. Now, Tommy's managed to see the Dre inside the trunk, deal with the Dre situation, get a phone call from Lakeisha, run to the shop, deal with a body that Lakeisha just caught, then run to the distro meet, and is still making it time to catch Jason and Ghost talking. So he busting like, what's this? What are you trying to do, Jason? You going behind my back? You gonna let him you gonna get rid of me after all the product I just brought for you? So now Ghost and Tommy are arguing in front of Jason. Jason's like, stop all the bickering. I got a solution. Y'all just gonna work together. Tommy and Ghost are like, we not working together. Jason was like, okay, either y'all can work together and I cut the tax, or y'all can work separately and I'll double both of y'all's payments. What is it gonna be? So now they kind of are like a rock and a hard place. So now they have to work together, all because they both had plans and it fell through. So now Jason took over, and Jason saw how much work they moved in the 24 hours, them 40 boxes. So now Jason knows there's money to be made with these two. So Jason tells them, if either one of y'all shows up dead, I will kill the other one. So now they kind of stuck. So back over here at the other spot, they got Dre. They're trying to figure out what to do with the body, because they can't really kill Dre because he's got on the ankle monitor. So they're like, the feds will be here, so what do we do? So they got someone that they used to be cool with that has a chop shop, and they're going to see if maybe they can like figure out if they chop up the body, if they could put it in the cars and ship it out or stuff like that. But they need to go talk to the guy first, the guy named Nico. So Dre's listening to their plan. So Two Bit and Spank, they like, first let us go talk to him and see if maybe we can get on good terms, and then we can figure out what to do with Dre's body. They wind up leaving BG in charge of Dre, and while they were all talking, Dre had managed to get his hands loose. So now that they're gone, he's gonna try to do his little thing with BG.
Please, let me just call my daughter, please. It's 911.
And Dre strikes again. Like, they're gonna learn to stop trusting Dre. And I really, really like BG. Like, he was so cool. I would say that Dre is a sociopath, but I mean, he shows a lot of sympathy, empathy, and emotion toward his daughter. But she's the only one, because not even the daughter's mother. So he's not a sociopath, but he is real close. Like, Dre is crazy. I'm a Miss BG. So now Blanca and Warner are sitting inside one of the conference rooms, and Saxe comes in. He's like, hey, Blanca, and she hits the play button, and all you hear is Lindsay talking about, help me, Joey. so Blanca's playing it. Saxe is like, oh, crap. Warner's like, listen, if you're going to collude with, he's putting two and two together. So you flip Lindsay, then you use that for Joe. You blackmail Joe. Now Joe's dead, and you're trying to cover that up. If you're going to collude with the criminals, at least ask them how not to get caught. And Saxe is like, it's not that I'm so bad. It's just that, honestly, they're just so good at getting rid of bodies. So now he's on administrative leave. And Warner told him he's going to make it his job to get him disbarred and thrown in jail. So Ramona and Ghost get together for their little late night get up, and as soon as she could sit down, she's like, well, Tate propositioned me today. And Ghost is like, oh, you're such a beautiful woman. Any man would love to have you on his arm. So what'd you say?
So what'd you tell Councilman Tate?
I told him that I was interested
Hi,
in
Ramona. I see you, girl. She got her nerve up, but before she could get it up too high.
Did you hear me? I said it's not a good time, man. Beat it, lady.
Tommy is crazy, but luckily Ramona has enough sense to get up out of there, so she exited stage left. And Tommy's like, how could you do that? And Ghost's like, what? I gave her money to leave, so what? It's not a crime. Tommy's like, no, I'm talking about the hitter. But don't worry, he won't be collecting payments. So Ghost is like, why would I send a hitter to handle Keisha? Yeah, right. Tommy puts his hand on the gun. He's ready to pull the trigger. And, Ghost is like, well, as soon as you do that, 24 hours later, you're going to be laying right next to me. You do know that, right? Because Jason's going to get you. And Tommy's like, yeah. So Ghost is like, well, you know what we got to do? I'm going to send you a location. You put the weapon there, and I'll pull the trigger. We got to get rid of him. So, Ghost is like, can I trust you? Yeah. Tommy's like, can I trust you? And they both said, Ghost said, yeah, you can trust me until the deed is done. When Jason's dead, then I guess we go back to killing each other. I don't know. They're so crazy. They're silly. They're like that married couple that works so well together, but they hate each other, so it just won't work. I mean, one day they gonna get it together or kill each other, one or the other. So all of a sudden, the car pulls up in front of this house. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did Tommy have the same car last episode? Because it seems like every episode he's switching out cars ever since Ghost got with him. But anyway, I'm thinking, maybe he bought Kate a house. And, he's going to leave Keisha and that boy out there with Kate to protect them while they're dealing with what they're dealing with. No, they step out. He gives Keisha the keys. This is her new house. And he tells her, I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect you. I'm not going to ever let anyone hurt you. So what seemed like just a thing in him using Keisha, it's really turned into something. But I feel like it's turned into that because he's lost everybody. He's lost he's lost Ghost, he's lost Tariq, he's lost Holly, Tasha, everyone, his father. So it seems like he's gravitating to Keisha, but I just hope that he doesn't tear her down in the process. So Tasha's sitting down with her son, and she's like, listen, what do you want out of life? She's tired of his game. She's tired of this mess. She's tired of trying to chase somebody who doesn't want to be caught. So, she's like, well, what is this? What is the end result? Your father doesn't want to face who you are, but I am. And, so let's talk about it. And she asked him, was this thing with Vincent all, just a con? Were you trying to get a cut? And he was like, yeah. He told her the truth, finally. And I was like, thank you, Tariq. The lies are stopping. Tasha's like, listen, You gonna go out here and get yourself killed, and I'm gonna be missing another child. And you know what? This was the smoothest part of this whole thing. I was like, you better do that. Tasha told him, you're stupid, but I'm gonna show you how to do it right, and you could be so much better than your father, but you can't lie to me anymore. And he said, okay.
Could you teach me how to move this so no one else will get hurt?
All right, Tariq. I'm gonna teach you the game.
That's what I'm talking about. You better show that boy the right way to do it, because the way he's doing it is not it. And nobody who better than his mother to show him how to do this the right way. There's nobody else. Nobody else is going to care for him. Nobody else is going to do it right. And see, he already knew. He had an idea who his mother was. That's why he sent Vincent to his mother when after they set up the whole plan for him and Tommy and Ghost to get the money up and the kidnapping and blah blah blah. Go to my mother, because my mother will be the one. She'll be the foot on their neck. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm ready for this. I'm here for this. And this touches home because I'm a mother, and sometimes you want your kids to go a certain way, but you get to a point where you have to just face who they are, because they've already faced it and they're not going to be who you want them to be. But the best thing to do is show them how to be who they want to be, in a way where they don't hurt themselves and hurt everyone around them. So I'm here for it. You better show that boy. All right, y'all. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Thumbs me up. Comment down below. What do y'all think is going to happen? How do you think this is going to go? What's going to happen when Ghost finds out that Tasha is teaching his son something that he never wanted him to learn? Y'all have a good one.